Get this on the Triple M network.
Still broadcasting.
Yeah, Tony.
We certainly are with myself, Tony Martin, a man saying, do people ever want to hear, come said the boy, again?
Tony, I think that question shows how silly all of this is getting.
All right. What about Ed Cavalier fielding marriage offers left, right and centre?
Hey.
Well, you know, it's probably something about the Australian psyche there. I don't know.
And pushing buttons, it's Richard Marsland, a regular visitor to hotplumpers.com.
Please explain.
Sorry,
Well,
can't do that.
plumper
Can't
is,
do that again, oh dear.
That ain't right.
Just things that ain't right. Now, obviously, most of the calls, we know what they're going to be.
Tony's.
No, the program being
Oh, right. No, fair enough.
Sure.
Good.
Well, hopefully. But no, we don't. We want to go wider than just that today. Could be anything. There is currently a 7-disc Steven Seagal box set out.
That ain't right.
Thank you to the 485 people who have emailed me a picture of it.
That's including all the movies he made last month, isn't it?
I think so.
It includes The Patriot, Half Past Dead, The Foreigner, Out for a Kill, Belly of the Beast, Out of Reach and Into the Sun. Just for your information, Mr. Marsland.
Out for a Kill's a good movie. Out for a Shake, not as good. Not as exciting.
Out for a lumber down the corridor. All sorts of things. That ain't right. What are you nominating,
Well,
Ed?
why can't a guy get a clapper light anymore?
That ain't right.
Did they ever sell those here? Or is that something from American movies?
I know that I grew up in a house, one, and I know that in that house, in one of the rooms, we used to have that on, off,
Oh, and then we were saying that bloke in China with the world record loudest clapping.
turned off most of Beijing.
That's right, by accident.
I went to a shop, like a lighting shop, which is dangerous in itself if you're like me, all elbows and tripping over.
Oh,
you're
yes,
bound
yes.
to smash something and then you pay for it.
Plus ceiling fans as well, which can be very hazardous
Right
to
in
you.
the face.
And, of course, walls and windows, obviously.
Because I insist on walking around with a blindfold, carrying a sledgehammer, and it's just bizarre and spinning myself around. So it doesn't work when I get in there. I walk in there, hello, I'd like a clapper light, please. No dice.
Is that right?
No dice. You can have a light that's a leopard and it's like shone from the inside. And I'm like, a leopard's inner glow is one thing.
But no
But a clapper
light.
That ain't right.
Okay, here's something that happened to me.
That ain't right.
Correct. Computer's got a bit of a lag time today.
That ain't right.
In itself, I spend a lot of time hanging about in doctors' waiting rooms, as you know.
Oh, hang on.
No, not just hitting on vulnerable women, attending to my various obscure maladies.
Yeah.
And I was in, like, you know when you've got a waiting room that is so chockers, there are no seats at all. People are just leaning on the bar.
Yeah.
There's an old bloke standing in front of me looking a bit... little Jackie Wright from the Benny Hill show. Tap, 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 ball bloke, top of the head, that kind of look.
Yeah.
And I'm standing right behind him, and I don't know if he's deaf, but he's just dropped a massive fart. And I don't just mean like, you know, small potatoes. I'm talking... That kind of a deal.
That ain't right.
Not in itself, but no acknowledgement for him. Not a raised eyebrow.
That could have been anyone.
So the 35 people sitting in very close quarters are looking up going, well, it's one of them. And what sort of person are you to go, it was that frail old man right there, that frail old guy. So it's a 50-50 as to who it is. He's not reacting.
Nope.
Could well be me.
Probably was.
And I'm going, should I say something? Should I tap him on the shoulder? But what do you say?
Excuse me, is this yours?
Before...
You dropped this?
Before I could even think what I was going to say or do, suddenly... He's just let go with a follow-up. I'm telling you.
That ain't right.
Trying to help himself.
It's the old person. I'm deaf. I'm unconscious. I don't know what I'm doing. It ain't right, I tells you.
Ain't right.
I tells you.
I know. Use is right.
Mr. Marsden, what else ain't right?
Okay, how about a sheep that hasn't been shorn for 3 years?
That ain't right.
I'm not sure if you saw that in the papers today.
Oh, the papers, not just at your place. Okay.
There's a sheep that hasn't been shorn for 3 years. There's the RSPCA taking it away because apparently that's not a good thing.
Nah.
So they've taken the sheep away and, clearly giving a Brazilian there in the aftershot.
That ain't right.
So that's not right. I'll tell you what else ain't right.
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse and Pete Doherty making a duet.
That ain't right.
Just two people leaning on each other.
Are they going to do Danny Minogue's Put the Needle on It?
I'm sure they are.
Has someone told Amy Winehouse to start hanging out with a better crowd? So I guess Pete Doherty could
Who's
be a
that guy
step
lying
up.
in the gutter, bleeding? He seems all right.
He's my next husband.
Yes.
How about this on YouTube? A dancing cockatoo that only dances to Backstreet Boys.
That's a bit gay.
Oh, hang on.
Sorry, no, I pressed the wrong one there, but still appropriate.
Hi, John.
Jane Austen miniseries on TV.
That ain't right.
Endless. What one are they doing now?
Oh, I don't care.
Didn't she only write like 6 books or something?
Yeah, but we keep seeing them on TV every 5 minutes, so
And it's just because of Mr. Darcy's pants, isn't it? That's really all it's about.
we don't need to see that.
No. And that diary. What about if you bought Mr. Darcy's diary for somebody?
Avoid that entire section in the bookshop.
Yeah, the book that Jane Austen forgot to write. Somebody's done it for her.
Isn't that kind?
Beautiful. I agree with that. Who's next?
Hello, Toby. How are you?
David Burton's head.
That ain't
Wow.
right.
What's wrong with? What's he done to it now?
Just not only being a knob, he looks like a knob as well.
Oh, the double curse.
Because I look like
Double
a knob.
banger.
Yeah, Ed looks like a knob, but he's not one.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm more of a tosser. So thank you very much, Toby. G'day, Josh. How are you?
Moving out with your girlfriend and her family following and hanging around for 4 years.
That ain't right.
Dear, oh dear. Is this an abstract situation or something that's really happened?
No, it's really happened, and we've made quite a few attempts to hint, as in bugger off kind of thing, but yeah, it doesn't seem.
I think she's somehow interfering with this phone call right now. Do you get that feeling?
Wow, really? She's taking him out. Hello, Dane. How are you?
I think I'll speak to the other 8 people when I say you love the show.
Oh, good on you, sir.
Very
Cheers.
kind.
Yeah, I stayed at my mate's place the other night, had a few drinks, and got woken up about 6 in the morning by his cat peeing all over my back.
That ain't right.
Oh,
Would you have preferred the chest or?
Oh,
That's
see, Ed, who loves cats and any talk of cats, doesn't look happy with that.
Why, Dane? Were you dressed as Lorne? What was going on?
No, apparently it's pregnant and it's been peeing in the house a bit lately, but that's the first time it's got someone.
Oh, right. They do get very jealous, I know.
Yeah.
When we got a dog and we still had a cat, if any attention was paid to the dog, the cat would just go, right, where's that doona?
Oh, really?
We can change the colour of that in less than a minute.
Finally, Sophie, how are you?
What ain't right is Mark Holden talking about what makes a good arse.
That ain't right.
Now, is this on the television or just in general conversation? Where have you heard this?
I just heard him on the radio talking in explicit detail
Yeah.
about the pertness, the firmness, the wideness, and using the term baby got back.
Is this because he's hoping to have it grafted onto his face, Sophie? Is that where this is
Well,
headed?
we can only hope.
Okay.
And what are his arse credentials, Soph, do you think?
He seemed to be very into the idea of pert. He told us a lot about the pert quality. It doesn't matter about the size,
Okay.
as long as it's pert. And I don't want to be thinking about pert and arse and Mark Holden. Those are things that should not be linked in my mind.
I think arse and Mark Holden link together quite
Well,
nicely,
yeah.
but yeah.
Thank you, Sophie. That's the end of my eating for the day.
Daniel Kitson is back from Moore. Just checking our list of songs. Yes, we'll laminate a copy. You can take that with you.
Cool.
Second down.
Oh, yeah, all killer. This is all killer. I'm not sure what that song was, but it was killer.
That was Midnight Oil.
Lots of music.
Yeah, lots of music and knots of get this. It's an odd week for you to join us, but we're so glad that you've come back.
That might become the slogan for the whole station.
I'm hoping.
We're the station without Get This.
Just an X through us and a laughing monkey off to the side. Now, Daniel, you were here earlier in the year with It's the Fireworks Talking, a fantastic show which could possibly be described as stand-up.
Yeah.
But you have an alternative career as yourself, doing other kinds of shows, the latest of which is C90. Ed Cavalier saw it last night.
I'm sorry.
You've burnt yourself on your beverage, haven't you?
I've overestimated the heat-absorbing capacity of my mouth, and I took a sip of tea at an inopportune moment, and it really hurts. But I'm fine now.
This is the show. I think we've had a record number of injuries. Ed Cavalier hurt his knee.
My thinking knee, too.
Severely, twice on the show yesterday. Electrocuted himself only 3 weeks ago, live on air. Proved to be the most popular thing we've ever done. People wanting repeat performances of that.
Exactly how did you electrocute
I had a remote.
yourself.
Well, I had a remote-controlled helicopter. Well, you could hear it if you like, Daniel.
I would absolutely love to.
He had a remote control helicopter, and the aerial of it just touched the microphone.
Yeah.
And here's what happened.
Step 4, leave the controller to the chopper at least 5 metres far away.
Now the antenna is currently touching. Ah!
It's electrocuted him.
What happened there?
Play it again.
Play it again. Let's have it again. But I find the most disturbing thing about that clip is not that he electrocutes himself, it's my unbridled glee.
It's the hardest I've ever heard you laugh, Tony.
It's the best noise in the world.
All right, one more time for people who want it as a ringtone.
Step 4, leave the controller to the chopper at least 5 metres far away.
Now the antenna is currently touching. Ah!
It's electrocuted him.
What happened there?
I mean, there's not many ways.
Really funny noise.
There's not many ways you can hurt yourself doing a radio show, I have to
So
say.
every time I hear that, Daniel, my teeth hurt a bit, like they did the time it happened. Gets you right in the teeth, that electrocution.
It's like when a crying baby makes a lady's breasts hurt.
Yeah. And lactate. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, that happened.
Often heard those words used to describe this program.
It's like when a crying baby makes a lady's breast lactate.
On
Triple M.
on a billboard. What were some of our billboard slogans? I mean, if we had, more cut through on the billboards, Ed.
That's where you went wrong.
Yeah, that might have been it.
You've got to focus on the billboard.
I think the billboard said, "Not them again." That was our catchphrase when we came back.
You tried the old self-deprecating tactic.
That just blows up in your face
Oh,
every time.
They're big fans of self-deprecation on commercial radio.
But Daniel, you were just telling us you've been partaking of some Australian culture while you're here. Have you been on the Puffing Billy?
I have been on the Puffing Billy. It was
Not
incredible.
train surfing, I hope.
It was absolutely incredible. It was genuinely brilliant. And I told a few people that we're going to go on Puffing Billy. They were like, "Oh yeah, oh it's very cute, oh it's very."
Right.
And I was very giddy, and then in the park where we had a picnic, we saw a duck fall off a bench trying to get some bread. It was one of the funniest things. It was genuinely brilliant. It was like whack, thunk. It was just genuinely.
And how did it react? Did it seem embarrassed or ready for more?
It sort of looked as though it was staring us out for laughing at it. It was all like, what? Well, I saw bread, and I went for bread. That's the life of a duck, yeah? You don't know me.
Do you often find when you're down here you see things that you would never see on your side of the world?
Well, we've got ducks.
Yeah.
But they're really sure-footed ducks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bit full of themselves?
Yeah. They're just strutting around. Quite often, they moonwalk.
Yeah.
But you've got those birds here with the...
the ibis birds?
Yeah.
They're freaky.
They're brilliant things.
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah.
What does the ibis bird do?
They sort of stand up. They're quite tall, and then they're
big, long beaks on them.
on the front, and they hang around the zoo in Sydney a lot.
Nicely demonstrated, Daniel. I know them, of course.
Yes, I'm a master of the radio form. I just did a visual impression of an ibis.
Beautiful. That'll be available on the podcast.
And they've sort of got gimp-like leather faces, haven't they?
Yeah. Touch of the leather face about them.
Gimp-like leather face.
A little bit eyes wide
But
shut.
I'll be
their
honest,
faces.
I've never thought of an ibis in that way before. They've sort of got a gimp-like leather face. It is a short step from that to forcing yourself upon an ibis.
I prefer the ducks. They fall over for you.
How would you like to force yourself on an ibis? You've come to the right program. Daniel Kitson is with us on Get This here at Triple M, and he does have a show called C90. It's currently on in Melbourne.
Excellent show.
We are going to have to mention it at some point.
It's a story, it's not stand-up. That's pretty much all we need to say about it. It's a story and it's not stand-up, and it's quite moving, but it's also quite funny.
Ed's seen it.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
And
fact.
It does concern a man with a large number of compilation tapes. That can't be denied.
That's his job, is to catalogue and record all the discarded compilation tapes.
Did you bring several thousand compilation tapes yourself from England for the show?
It's got a set which is a 4-metre high wall with just over 5,000 tapes glued into it.
Oh, and did you build that yourself by hand?
Yes, I built it myself by hand from matches.
Wow.
No, I had a set designer and a set builder and some wonderful technicians who construct the set on site.
Are you someone who hoards things? That you're a mad collector of certain objects?
Well, I've just had to move out of my house. I tried to buy my flat from my landlord and he wouldn't let me. And I didn't want to have to pack up all my stuff because I thought I'd find it really sad. I basically just hoard no one particular thing, but just all things that I have got any sort of just even the slightest emotional attachment to. Just go, I can never throw that away.
Yeah. Right,
That will have to go in a box forever, and so will that. Right, I have a house full of boxes of... Am I allowed to say the...
I think we can say the S word, yes.
I've got a house full of shit.
Yeah!
Oh, it feels good.
30 seconds before the kiddies get out of school. Nicely timed.
Yeah.
Is this something that you do, Ed Cavalier? I know you've been thrown out of a couple of proproperties during the course of this show.
You know, a few things I've said on air have got me evicted.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like, oh, electrocuted me?
No, I would bring up things that we would say, you know, like house meetings. We had a house meeting because I was leaving too much sweet potato on the bench.
Yeah.
I brought it up.
Yeah, on a national forum. It needed to be canvassed
Got
before an
kicked
audience.
I think that's fair enough, to be honest. I think that's terrible behaviour.
Yeah, no,
you have
fair.
to draw a line between your home life and your work life.
Absolutely right. I've been
So
blurring
you do.
those lines and paying the
That's
price.
right.
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to want to do that thing where you jump through, on my bike, I wanted to jump through a box, you know, like a bunch of boxes.
Yeah,
like I saw in the
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Couldn't get hold of boxes because I was a kid. Could get hold of little juice boxes, poppers.
Right, yeah.
The idea was to stick them all together
Yeah.
in a giant wall
Nice.
and
Oh,
then
yes.
bang, crash through. Everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Who knows what I'd get? A lolly snake.
Yeah.
But always, if you try and put the idea was if the little bit of glue at the top and the back that puts the, that holds the straw on, if I could get that to the top, and that would make glue, therefore making the wall.
Right, yeah.
You get one line, you try and put another line over,
Yeah.
doesn't work. So essentially it was just me trying to bunny hop one very low row of singular boxes
Well,
on
that's
a bike.
YouTube
Which I
friendly.
did.
YouTube friendly.
Absolutely YouTube friendly.
I made it though.
We need footage of that.
There you go. You've got to hold on to your dreams.
Absolutely.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah.
Mr. Marsland.
Yes.
What have you been hoarding?
I've got so much stuff in my house. Floppy disks, for some reason, I can't throw them away.
Yeah, right.
Right.
What am I using them for?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. What's up with that? What is literally up with that?
What is the deal with the floppy disks?
An old microwave oven. I can't get rid of that.
Does it work?
No, it doesn't work.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
but I just can't. I
Damn.
can't get rid of it.
Don't let children climb into it.
I've had it for 7 years.
Bolt it shut.
Yeah.
What about little inserts from fortune cookies? I put them in my wallet where the pictures should go,
Oh.
and they get me through my day. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
held on to them for-
that really treads a fine line between charming and pathetic.
As does so much on this fine program. Your chance to jump aboard, listeners. What are you hoarding?
G'day, Mick.
Hey, Dad.
How you going, man?
All right.
What are you hoarding?
I don't know about hoarding, but I can't get rid of my missus and kids.
Hey, hey.
Bit of fun. Bit of slightly damaging fun.
What are they doing that's causing you so much grief?
Well, just general living. Every time I think about it, there's always some reason I think, oh, no, poor buggers, I can't really chuck them away.
You sound like a model father and husband.
I try.
What's the answer? Just getting all your belongings into a handkerchief, tying it up around a stick, and just hitting the road.
Absolutely.
Probably the answer. That'll learn them.
Littlest hobo style. Thank you, Mick. Hello,
All right.
David. How are you?
Gonna miss the show, guys. I love it.
Good on you, Dave.
Oh, yeah. That's right, David. Start a petition. Change the world.
I'm sending in letter bombs as we speak.
Okay.
Send them to Richard Marsland's office if you could.
What are you hoarding apart from letterbox?
Baseball caps.
Oh, yes. How far back do you go?
Oh, I go back to about the mid-90s, and I've got about between 750 and 800.
Wow. Are they all like sporting teams, or have they got other things as well,
They're
like companies?
sporting and beer and hardware stuff. I've got them all in their allocated areas. If they're alcohol, they're in that, and if they're hardware, they're in that.
Right. And
It's good to have a filing
shows.
system. Yeah.
what is the jewel in the crown, sir?
Oh, it'd have to be the one from the 2000 Masters from Augusta Golf Course.
Yeah, fair enough. Temperature controlled, safe for that one.
I think we can do better than this.
Thank you, David. G'day, Stuart. How are you?
Hello there, Ed. How are you guys going?
Excellent. What are you hoarding?
Oh, man. I still got my Harvey comics. For,
Oh,
we're talking-
Harvey Comics.
Oh.
Now, Daniel, did they have Harvey Comics in England?
No, but he has an incredibly dirty sounding voice about his Harvey comics. I've still got my Harvey comics. I'm looking at them now and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Look at a bit of hot stuff. Have you got hot stuff?
No, actually, I was more down your track, I think, Tony, with Spooky.
Oh, yeah, Spooky.
Casper.
Spooky and Casper. Spooky. Ghost. What's holding the bowler hat on there?
I don't know.
It's transparent. That shouldn't be floating. Who was, who else? Little Dot?
Little Audrey?
No, I stuck mostly to the supernatural. So it was Wendy
Yeah,
and the
Wendy.
Ghostly Trio and all those guys there.
Should ring no bells, Daniel?
No, absolutely not.
Because you're from the country of Sid Snake, really, aren't you? And
I have no idea what you're talking
the
about.
Visa, the Beano.
Oh, yeah.
Those
yeah,
sort of comics.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had things like that.
Whizzer and Chips. That was one of yours?
Yeah, I used to get a comic called The Buster Comic, and on one day there was a story about a man who'd invented a powder that made anything delicious, and he put it on his front lawn, and his son mowed his lawn by chomping on the grass, and he's going chomp, 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 this is so delicious. And I still now, even now, when I think about that, think, like
Go some grass right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, it's like me.
And it's a true story. Who's got another collection?
Finally, Mark, how are you?
I'm hoarding old video games, and look, I know Tony was addicted to Tetris there at one stage in his life, and I'm a big Game Boy fan.
Yes, well, I think I mentioned this a few times, but I got so addicted to Tetris, I would drive Tetris. So I'd be driving up the street, and if there was a gap between two cars, I'd just have to veer over and fill it in.
Make the noise.
And do the noise in the car.
And occasionally slam a handbrake, turn on it,
Absolutely.
to spin it round and go in sideways.
If you're not going to do it properly, don't do it at all.
Mark, do you have Super International Cricket on Super Nintendo?
Oh, I do, actually. I have that. Is that the one with, who was on the cover of that? Was it, oh, God, I can't remember the name of them now, but they always put some star. I think Shane Warne was on a cover later on.
Yeah, no, he was too early.
Carl Rackerman?
No, it
Yes,
wasn't.
Rackerman.
Yes!
Oh, there you go. All right, Tone.
Do you get your news from the newspapers, Ed Cavalier, or do you prefer the world of gossip and hearsay?
Oh, I'm going to go newspapers, Tone.
Yeah, see, a lot of people do that. They look in the papers and go, what's the news? Just choosing a story at random. Chorus of scorn drowns Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown, it's the public have turned on him in England already. They're already saying, Gordon Brown. It's fun to say. Gordon Brown. Give it a go. But no, listen to this in the paper today. Gossip is a more powerful communication tool than the truth.
Ooh.
A study shows. Suggesting people believe what they hear through the grapevine, round the campfire, as Richard likes to say, even if they have evidence to the contrary. That's true.
That's insane.
You know, stuff gets around. That Richard Gere business with the gerbils.
Oh, still getting round.
Yeah.
Not true, apparently. You'll still hear it from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're saying, what have you heard?
Yes.
I know on other stations it's called the Rumour File, but we've retitled it, we've rebadged it, we've rebranded it, we've
Repositioned it.
repositioned the brand.
We've
That's what we've
migrated
done.
it. We've migrated it into our show.
We've rotated it.
Bit of knowledge capture happened. It's all new.
Okay.
What have you heard? I'm just looking in the women's magazines. Oh, here's what I've heard. Karl Lagerfeld, not actually alive, replaced 2 years ago by an animatronic dummy. Have a look at that picture. You tell me I'm wrong.
Wait, hey there, Leatherface.
And what's with the collars right up to there?
Yeah, you
What's going on?
Can't see any of his skin.
He's operated by wires, invisible wires.
Yeah, you little puppet master.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
Okay. Yes.
What have you heard, Ed?
Well, you know I live in a fairly salubrious part of town.
Yeah.
And the other day I came home and there was a gentleman. It's about 3 a.m. and I wandered in and he was standing in our front doorway just underneath the lights. So I could see him from the back and he was kind of moving his hand going, oh. And I said, hey, hi, I live here. Do you? Or how are you? And he turned around and he had a flavoured milk and a stick. And he goes, someone took me straw and now I've got to use this stick to bust open me milk, just using your light. And I said, well, away you go. Cue about 5 minutes of him jabbing blindly at it until he finally kind of jabbed it into the side, sucked off his, the rest of his milk and off he went.
Golden Brad. Okay, so it can be Karl Lagerfeld's animatronic or it can be man uses stick to drink flavoured milk.
Yeah.
Rich, what have you heard?
Well, I've heard some gossip that perhaps the worm won't be used in this upcoming debate between the Prime Minister and Kevin Rudd. Because I've done a survey in the paper, they're still debating about whether or not to use the worm. 43% like the worm, 44% of people say they're not a fan of the worm, and the remaining 13% say the worm has had a successful 11 years in the role of Prime Minister and he could consider stepping down.
There you
Possibly.
go.
I don't know. Would you like some local goss, maybe? down the
Local
street.
goss. Yeah, local
down the
goss,
street.
local
I've
goss.
noticed that a family have moved out of their house.
Moved
And
out.
word on the street
Yeah, on the street.
is that
Ice lab.
the father has left the family for his son's girlfriend.
Whoa! Give that a war.
But no, it gets absolutely better.
Yeah.
Well,
It's you?
Gets more delicious.
Yes.
She has had his baby,
Oh, God.
and she has now left the father for the son again and is pregnant again with his. It's just all very.
How are you going to get out of that situation, Rich?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, it's down the road.
Yeah, it's down the road.
Down the street. Okay.
Hi, Brent. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Excellent. What have you heard?
Well, I've heard it's an interesting coincidence that this is finishing up on the 23rd of November. Federal election is on the 24th of November.
Yeah, it is odd.
Whisper is that you three boys are going to be backbenchers in the new Rudd Labor government.
Oh, backbenches.
Well, I am running for Eden Monaro, as you know, Brent.
What would we have to do? What does a backbencher really do?
Snouts in the trough, well, that's the kind of thing, I think. So
Snouts in the trough.
probably not much different than what you normally do, getting around in your Black Thunders, that kind of thing.
Sure. Politically speaking, I'm more of a grey power man.
That's true.
Would Arch Beavers have to move
Oh,
somewhere?
I hope not. I wouldn't want to displace Arch Beavers.
No.
I can say here. Does that qualify
That's
me?
right. Just a bit of heckling from the back row.
Yeah.
Just throwing a few, how comes? Assault! Assault!
All right, Brent, thanks very much.
Assault!
We'll let you know how we go, how our tilt for Parliament goes. G'day.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
It's good stuff. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Oh, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What have you heard?
I've heard there is a vicious rumour sweeping through Wollongong at the moment that at 4 p.m. on November 23, the High Rollers room of the Kershaw Arms is going to close.
Now, we thought we were just making it up that there is a high rollers room called the Kershaw Arms, the pub in Wollongong. It's absolutely true, apparently, yeah?
Oh, look, yeah, it's there. It has to be seen to be believed.
And what do they do down there? What happens?
Not a lot. Sweet FA.
Is it that thing where because it's an international high rollers room, it's sort of like diplomatic immunity? You can do whatever you want in there?
Yeah, well, people just go there to smoke. There's no gambling, actually.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They just go there to smoke. I believe budget constraints have led to the closure.
Yeah, well, that does happen, Kevin. Thank you very much.
So I've heard.
What I read in the paper, but unfortunately, it's not what I was told. What about something new, Ed Cavalier?
Oh, happy you could ask me that if that was a question.
There you go.
Because
Brand new gear. Now back to the repeats.
So we have a brand new segment today. You two are always at each other downstairs.
Are we?
Oh, man, it is just tooth and nail, punch and Judy down there. So we're going to settle this once and for all on radio as we play Richard versus Tony. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Copacabana Studios downstairs behind some bookshelves at Triple M as we play Richard versus Tony. Our judges today are TV's Mike Hammond, Beckingham Palace's Beck Hewitt, and that guy in my street with the dog that won't shut up.
Fantastic.
First challenge is deafness. Now, both of you have been doing radio a long time.
That's true.
You claim to be deaf.
We are pretty deaf.
Are we playing for anything in particular?
There are prizes.
The rented Newport house turned into a cannabis factory. 5 rooms, 760 plants, with a potential annual street value of more than £340,000.
Oh, that's runway ready, that prize.
Fantastic prizes. First challenge, the deafness challenge. Now, I'm going to play a random piece of music chosen by me, and now Richard's going to turn it down.
Yeah.
Now, whoever stops hearing it first... in this instance is the winner, but in broader spectrum of life, probably the loser.
And we play the carryover champ, Lee Simon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. He's heard nothing for years.
Good luck.
He was telling me about this new single from Thomas Dolby called Blinded Me with Science the other day.
Let's get it started. All right. Turn it down, Rick.
I can definitely hear that in my cans.
Keep going.
I can hear it. I wish I didn't.
I can still hear that.
Keep going.
I can still, sadly, that's still cutting through.
Still hearing that?
Yeah, still
Same
hear
here.
that.
Keep going.
I can still hear that.
Keep going.
Yeah, I can
I
still
can
hear
just
that.
hear it.
Keep going.
I can still hear it.
Still hear it. Yeah.
Anytime, fellas. Anytime.
It's gone.
There.
I've lost it.
I
I can still hear a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear a little
I
bit.
can hear a dag.
A little bit just spilling through there.
Nah, you're making it up, Richard. That's gone to Tony. Well done, Tony.
wow,
So
well
I'm
done.
the
Good stuff.
deafest.
You're the deafest, Tony.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Good luck catching up to me, Marsland.
Frightening.
You're a winner. You're a winner. Next, of course, we have, what's a pageant without a swimsuit contest? Here comes Tony wearing the limited edition Hessian Sakini. Look at those abs. You could grate a cheese grater on those abs.
Not going to, though.
Beautiful work. And now here's Richard. In a one-piece suit he's made entirely out of Winnie Blues. Oh, and he's dropped them. That's the wrong sound. He's dropped them. Oh, don't the crowd love it?
There you go.
That's 1-1, my friends.
Beautiful.
1-1. Well, there's only one way to settle this challenge, and that's by being attacked by a bear.
Oh,
here comes the bear.
Not a bear. I'm being attacked by a bear.
He's having a...
This sort of thing would stop.
Oh, look at that.
Bear season. I've been mauled.
Stop being attacked, Richard. Tony has bored the bear to death
Me tattered plum.
with tales of how the ABC don't run British sitcoms the way they should. And Tony's the winner!
I'm Tony versus Richard.
Tony's our carryover champ.
My prize is an ongoing loss of hearing, an injury from a bear, and a chance to bag out the ABC.
And a Hessian zucchini.
Pete Smith is here.
I'm here, and I'm staying till the close of play.
That's right. He's not leaving the building. He's chained himself to the desk. We're stuck with him for 5.5 weeks.
Yeah, I love that music.
That's right. I know
What
you
time
do.
do they finish tuning up?
Do people know that you choose most of the music that comes in on Triple M?
Well, it's a little known fact.
You
but,
just pick up the phone and you're just the program director. A phone will ring, you'll pick it up. Pete Smith, more Daughtry. I want to hear more Daughtry.
Exactly. Well, the disc jockey in the 60s, I'd know about it, wouldn't I now?
Wow. What sort of trouble did you get into on air in the 60s? How hard was it to...
I think I got into trouble for saying bloody on the air.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
keep it
yeah,
clean.
pretty nasty
Keep it-
back in the 60s, boys. I
Yeah,
tell you,
well,
really cutting-edge stuff, you know.
Kids are coming out of school, Pete, please.
Then in the 70s, well, okay, in the 70s, I think I said, by mistake, not
Yes.
deliberately, I think I used an abbreviated form of the word fertiliser.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
And it wasn't manure.
Yeah, they're still,
was. Oh, yeah.
still talking about that. What we were playing on the show recently was I brought in some TV shows I'd taped off Channel 9 back in the 1980s at 4:30 in the morning.
Watch some of those sitcoms that didn't work anywhere else.
So it's Gary Shandling's show.
Oh, I love that.
That was
Yeah.
just a killer show.
Yeah.
But every episode had your voice over the end credits going, stick around for Hey Hey It's Saturday with Irish songstress Enya. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think songstress has ever been used on radio or television since.
Do you have an archive of all your favourite announcements?
No, I haven't got any of them. Not one. I looked at an old movie the other night on an old tape, and I forget what it was now, Hello Dolly or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The kids wanted to see it, and
the kids wanted to see Hello Dolly.
and on the credits,
Yeah.
up comes me. You know,
what were you saying?
Spoiling the. I don't know. Next on 9, you know,
the commish,
the commish.
folled by surprise,
It's one of your-
surprise.
Yes, yes. And stick around for a couple of years, and we've got you.
Well, we are going to be getting you to say stuff later in this hour, but I understand we're winding up the show, as you know, and our co-hosts are clamouring to get on in any form possible. Who is that on the phone? Who is that, madam?
This is Jane Kennedy.
Oh, Jane! Thanks for waiting. You've got a 3-pack of CDs.
Thank you. Do I get the Kath and Kim?
Yes, Series 4 coming your way. Now, you're a bit late for That Ain't Right. Have you queued
I
up
know.
the... Richard's just going to queue up the sound effects, but you'd like to contribute, Jane?
I would. I have a double that ain't right, and I know that other people have said it ain't right, the show's demise, and obviously management started listening to the show, last week?
Yes.
That ain't
right. Clearly.
Well, yeah, they weren't aware that we were playing so many clips of Steve Guttenberg attempting a New Zealand accent.
Absolutely, and I must get that movie out. I will.
Don't tell her it's me is the name of the film.
I'll get it.
Yep.
And also, you're obviously not playing enough Toto. You know I'm a fan. And
Yes.
That ain't right.
Thank you, Richard. I will end it quickly on this note. My father is in Los Angeles on business. He rang me this morning. He said he was on a shuttle bus from the airport to get the plane, and the bus driver said, "Where are you from, man?" And he said, "I'm from Australia."
Yeah.
And he said, "Governor's from there."
Whoa. That ain't right.
Yeah. And Dad said, actually, a little further south than that.
Now, Jane, obviously we're only on for 5 and a bit more weeks. Are you going to come in here in person and play for more prizes?
Try and stop me, Mr. Martin.
All right, we look forward to seeing you. Thanks, Jane. I'll get
Thank
that
you,
DVD
Jane.
in the post to you.
Good on ya.
Cheers. And,
Bye, Jane.
Bye.
And, of course, most of our enunciation skills, and aren't they up to scratch on this show?
Dear, dear.
Come from Pete. Pete, what is the middle weekday?
Wednesday.
See,
There's a D in there.
3 syllables in Wednesday.
Well, Wednesday is okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, I hear people say Wednesday, but of course, Wednesday is the correct.
Well, you don't sort of
You don't
emphasise it. It's just Wednesday.
Yeah, see?
You know, like a lot of people can't say Australia.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
that's right.
Have you noticed that?
They say Australia.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Australia. And I always have a problem with Adelaide and community.
Well, you didn't then.
Yeah, he didn't when he was doing his community service in Adelaide. But look, what we're going to do today is get you to pronounce phrases. Now, I think Mr. Cavalier has got one
If you
written
wouldn't mind,
down.
yes, going first with me, Pete, here, because we'd like to help people out, Tony, as you know.
Yeah.
In the community newspapers, we read out the letters, the thumbs up, the thumbs down. People have a lot of problems. Now, there was someone who wrote into a community newspaper saying that people keep leaving cat food on their front lawn. They don't have a cat.
That's true.
Now, the thing is, Pete, that they're starting to play Barry Manilow in car parks to try and drive hoons away.
Yeah, that's right.
So we thought perhaps you might be able to record a message they could play to deter would-be cat food leavers.
That would be a pleasure.
All right, here we go.
Don't leave cat food on our front lawn. We do not have a cat, as the sign on the tree clearly indicates.
Okay.
Problem solved.
Now,
Thank you, sir.
We'll bag that up and send it to that man.
Okay.
That is fantastic.
Brilliant.
Now, Richard Marsell used to host a very fruity late-night sex program.
Yes.
I asked him during the ads to write a phrase for you to say, he's still writing it now.
Yeah.
That's right, the show that's being put to air, put together before it goes. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm trying to feel for you, Richard. And
Thank you.
Okay, Pete, you haven't even seen this before.
Oh, look, it's written in English.
Here we go. Have a crack.
Coming up next on the Late Date Show, Richard investigates the reverse cowgirl. Richard is dressed by Leatherworld and chooses to stay in Bessie Bardo.
Thank you very much, Pete.
Great job.
Finally, one of the phrases I have enjoyed seeing or hearing over and over. It sounds like I'm drunk, and it's not even the final week.
Come on, Tone.
What is going on?
I know you're excited.
Probably my favourite phrase ever on the show.
Assault! Assault! You touched me, officer. Sorry.
Okay, do you think you can do that one piece?
Assault! Assault! You touched me, officer. Sorry.
There you go. See, the man who said that line originally will be taking note of that. It's brilliant. Must remember to enunciate. Listeners, would you like to hear Pete Smith say something? Call us up with your phrase.
Hello, Joel.
Hey, guys. How you going? Love the show.
Thank you. We have the phrase, take it away, Pete.
Autobots transform and roll out.
Oh, fantastic.
Is that the phrase you wanted to hear, Joel?
Oh, that made my day, guys. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, Joel.
It's sad you're going too.
All right,
thanks, Joel. Have a good day.
Good on you. Don't forget Petition Spot on the internet.
Absolutely right. Hello, Trevor. How are you?
Good, thanks, guys. Love your show too.
Thank you. Pete has the phrase, away you go.
Golly gosh, Brittany's got no underpants on.
Well, there you go. I'm sure you do find yourself saying that quite a lot, Pete.
No, I do. Regularly.
All right. Beautiful
Thank you,
work.
Trevor. We move on to Joe. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. I'm very sorry you boys are leaving. I don't know what I'm going to do with my afternoons now.
Well, we are sorry we're going as well.
We'll send in your address. We are going to be doing the show door to door on the back of the
This is for you, Joe.
Thank
Yes,
you.
here's your phrase.
My long blonde locks.
Oh, wow, that's a beautiful impression of Warwick Kappa.
I would have taken any Warwick Kappa, but long blonde locks is one of my favourites.
We'll
There
have
you
him
go.
shipped to your house as well. Thank you, Joe. Who's next?
Thank you.
Finally, Eugene, are you there?
I certainly am. See you later, boys. Gonna miss you.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's very kind of you, Eugene.
And where are you calling us from, Eugene?
I'm travelling in my work van at the moment.
All right. Between jobs, between gigs, stealing equipment from work, anything like that? Delivering ducks by any chance?
No, not today, unfortunately. Just checking on central heaters and whatnot.
Oh,
Okay.
right. It's good to see the whatnots getting looked after. Okay,
And,
I can finish padding now. Mr. Smith has your phrase. Take it away, Pete.
I'm Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitators.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Hang on. I know we don't have time, but we've got to go to Justin, please.
Hi, Justin.
Go to Justin. Does Pete know that one?
Justin, how are you?
Good, boys. How we doing?
We're excellent. We're on the hop.
This is a bonus phrase. It may go horribly. Have a crack at it, Pete.
You're that man that was in the magazine getting up his you-know-what.
Oh, hang on. That's a beautifully censored Jeff Fennick. You right there, Justin?
That was brilliant. There's movement in the pants, boys.
Thanks, great. Glad we can help out.
What other segment ends that way?
Get this at the new time of 2 o'clock.
Or in Adelaide, 3 o'clock.
On the Triple M Network.